Welcome to another episode of Notify and Beautify, the podcast that shows you the other side of beauty. Every week, we dive into the science behind wellness, nutrition, and self-care so that you can make informed decisions that are right for you. My name is Nora Bushama.
And I'm Linda Yates. Today we have an incredible guest, Valerie, the founder of Sailing to Wellness and the creator of Wave Food. Valerie brings a unique background in marketing, event management, and international wellness tourism. Her journey has taken her across different cultures, blending sports, movement, and nutrition into a powerful approach to well-being. Through Wave Food, she is redefining how we look at ingredients, making healthy meals easy, flavorful, and sustainable. She's also working on a new cookbook inspired by Blue Zone longevity principles. Get ready for an insightful conversation about fueling your body with the right foods, the Mediterranean diet secrets to longevity, and the science behind how ingredients impact energy, mood, and health.
If this is your first time listening to Notify and Beautify, welcome. We're so happy to have you. If you're a returning listener, we appreciate your support. Don't forget to follow or subscribe to your favorite podcast app and share this episode with someone who could benefit from this conversation. Now, let's get into it. Valerie, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you. Yeah, me too.
too.
Excited.
So your journey has been so inspiring. You started in marketing and wellness tourism, and now you're pioneering food as fuel for longevity. So what led you to make that shift?
So yeah, my journey also actually started a bit earlier. So I was always a bit like specialized in sports and nutrition, and I used to live and worked in France, training and teaching volleyball. I was community working at markets, so with farmers distributing food, and also explored especially the Asian cuisine, particularly in its natural herbs, and a bit further on there. And I've been trained in the mental health sector as well. Always worked in event catering and gastronomy. So I gained a lot of experiences in food, in consumption, in its preparation and hospitality, and learned quite early how to cook and distribute locally sourced non-processed food and its impact on your body and our health. So I think already the whole process from very early on gave me a direction in what does it actually maybe is, it inspired me actually to create this holistic health concept to combine everything that I gained, everything of knowledge, everything of all the experiences I had, the connection to nature, traveling, nutrition, being like active movements. And so now I'm finishing my first cookbook. I told you already a bit, where I share not only recipes, but I do want to encourage people, for example, that eating healthy is kind of accessible for everyone, and with also like little equipment, lots of fresh and local ingredients that you can have created your own, and that this is easy. And so it's not really like a shift, I would say. It's more about the holistic approach of seeing, okay, how can we combine wellness? What does it actually mean? Well-being in its movement, but also in nourishing our body by food and nourishing it by community, by the surrounding and nature.
That sounds beautiful. So Wave Food takes this fresh approach to nutrition, combining international food traditions, sustainability, and health benefits. What was the inspiration behind creating it for you?
So that inspiration is coming from the company that I created a few years ago. It's Sailing to Wellness, where we combined or where we offered sailing trips, but not only sailing trips in the Mediterranean, focused on wellness. So it was a sailing trip where we also invited yogis or wellness instructors to guide several activities. And me, I was not only creating and organizing it, but I was managing the food on the boat. So I was very intrigued and working with local farmers in the areas that we sailed. And yeah, I really wanted to bring that experience, like the full-on experience on board. And therefore, I really needed to, like, I was cooking for 10 guests every day
Wow.
for now, it's like 5 years, 4 seasons. So this is actually where it all started, was because I started to work in this small galley. So the galley is the cuisine on board, and I had all the local ingredients, especially from Sardinia. And I needed to create this to bring to our guests every day.
I want to go.
Come, happy to have you there.
So blue zones have become a huge topic in longevity research, and Sardinia's diet is one of the most fascinating. Can you break down what makes it so unique?
So yeah, I don't know. Have you heard about the blue zones before?
Yeah.
Yeah, where people live the longest and healthiest life. And it was actually fun. I mean, I don't believe really in coincidences, but we started our sailing experiences in Sardinia without me knowing about the concept or about the name Blue Zones before. But the concept of blue zones and what make them is actually something that I've always experienced. So where I grew up is on the small farm. So we learned how to harvest, planting food. I learned how to prepare it. I learned how to ferment it over the winter and everything like this. And the concept of the blue zone, now I do want to more focus on Sardinia. The concept is overall the same. But in Sardinia, it's very traditional, or it's very known to have this family community. So this is already a big point. So the community is super important for the concept of the blue zone, to always be together, eat together, etc. But also the lessons is to be outside, to be in the nature, to harvest your own soil. Sardinia is one of the most fertile soils. So there's where the grains can grow very great. And all the food that they have is actually from Sardinia itself. And they harvest it themselves. They bring it to the kitchen. They cook together. Like, we sometimes have this cooking class in Sardinia where we bring them on shore to see how they prepare the bread, how do they prepare all the other stuff that they offered. And then in the evening, the community eats together. So that's also a big factor, again, like eating together. It's not only about the food, or about like eating is not about counting calories or being healthy. It's not about that, but about the community, about its nutrition, the density, and so on. So just like this overall recap, I think these are like the three most important factors.
So you are backing the say you eat your emotion. So it's not only what you eat, it's how you eat it.
And this is a very big point. I think we know this as well from our own life at the moment, or currently, like we are living in a world that everything is rushing. So we are going to work, then maybe we eat on place and in front of the desk. We have not even a connection to what we eat, and we then go somewhere else, or there's everything there, but it actually doesn't really bring us to the roots and to what we are doing right now. So especially in Sardinia, and especially also on our sailing trips, I do really want to bring us back to the basics, like bringing local food that's grown close to home, but also in tune with what is going on around you. Like, where are you right now, sitting on a boat, where you feel and see the waves and the water, where you eat, and maybe somewhat being like me, I like to share a bit of knowledge about what we are eating, where the farmers are from, and how we can combine all of this whole feeling about it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. There's a common belief that carbs are bad, but Sardinians thrive on a high carb diet. What are the key takeaways from their food philosophy for you?
So the main key takeaway for me is there's not only one good or bad. It's all about its balance, first of all. One important factor is especially that the carbs it is not industrialized carbs. The main point is that we are talking about local food, not about the industrial known carbs as we do know them. We are not talking about the processed wheat. We are not talking about the processed food producing chain or production by then eating this bad industrialized carbs. But we are talking about the most fertile soil where actually the best grains grow by just as this, and therefore they start working on it. They prepare the grains, they prepare the bread, and so as well already this has a huge impact. But then as well, it's always about a balance. It's not only about the carbs eating, it's about having loads of vegetables and fruits in their diet, even drinking wine. But this wine is locally sourced. Not only the grapes are in the same place where it further processed to become wine, and they drink a glass of wine in the evening, but it's with less sulfites and not all these less production procedures. So already this is a very big impact.
I love how this approach isn't just about what you eat, it's about how you eat.
Yeah.
Can you share how fermented food, the gut-brain connection, and social eating all contribute to the concept of longevity?
So I'm not sure about people know about the gut and brain connection. There's a saying, we are what we eat. And I think this saying is something that we all should know, or that we all should be aware of it. Because when we are eating and we treat our gut with something that is good for our body, we are also bringing energy to our brain. So eating is fueling our body, our mood, our well-being, and long-termly seen as well. So I think this is one of the most powerful choices as well. Like the gut and the brain is the biggest, it's so connected to it. So it's very important how we fuel our gut.
So, yeah, I'm learning more and more about this, and I appreciate it. I actually grew up on a farm in Idaho, and we are actually grain growers. Some of the top grain growers in the country, or actually in the world, comes from Idaho. So I get what you're saying. So fueling food isn't just about eating for survival. It's about optimizing energy, mood, and long-term health. Can you explain this concept to us all?
So it's a very good question, and yeah, very interesting that you also grew up on a farm about that. So I think what is very important for us, it's like the value or the meaning of eating healthy itself. So eating healthy does not mean that we count how many proteins I have, but it's also about how much sugar and salt we put in, how saturated are our fats, for example, and all this has a huge impact on our well-being, on our health, overall health. And this concept is actually quite easy. Non-processed food, like raw food, fruits, vegetable, fueled with a lot of vitamins. It's fueled with fibers and fats and proteins, everything that our body needs. But we need to understand the value of this non-processed food, and we need to understand the value of a certain product to understand what is important for our body. If we want to, for example, if in the morning, what should we eat in the morning to be energized, and how can we energize our body, and maybe what can we eat or what can we drink of a certain tea in the evening that brings our system to the lower level, and not putting sugar in our body in the evening, because this will wake us up, but also there's no point of doing this in the evening before we want to go to bed. And this whole principle of when to eat what actually is processed food and what is actually raw, non-processed food, how can we maybe cook it, how can we prepare it for ourselves that it actually nutrients our body.
So let's talk about key ingredients that support brain function and metabolism. What are some of the powerhouse food that we should include in our diet?
So I think as well here it's again very important to know, okay, it's always about a little bit of balance. I'm not saying you only need to eat fats and nuts and seeds and fish and meat. But this also already, these are a little bit of the powerhouse ingredients. So I think super important that we know about non-saturated fats. We have fats, but there are processed fats, which are monosaturated fats or unsaturated fat. Unsaturated fats are very healthy. For example, fresh, cold-pressed olive oil is something that is healthy because our body can actually still break it down, like break down the protein in the system. Where other kind of fats, like the processed, so the body, there's nothing that it can actually break down in the system, and most of it just goes to the fat. For example, virgin olive oil has a lot of anti-inflammatory compounds as well, and therefore it supports heart and brain health, and it also reduces inflammations and can help also the skin looking. And another thing was, for example, seeds and nuts. They are very rich also in different kind of fats, but also healthy fat and minerals, and as well proteins. So they are very energetic. So I think these are like products that we can eat when we do sports or whenever, can bring our energy level up. It also helps our brain health. I used to eat a lot of nuts when we had some in school, some tests going on. Not sure if that was the reason if that helped. But definitely it's very nice also for in sports. And definitely always all kind of vegetables, legumes, chickpeas, lentils, white beans, but also loads green vegetables, loads of fibers, loads of vitamins, has as well like plant-based iron, proteins, and actually a lot of different ingredients in itself that brings or that benefits your body in terms of either muscle building or about your hormone balance. It all depends on what exactly. So we are having now the good oils, monounsaturated fats. I was talking about the nuts and seed. I was talking about different vegetables. And I think as well it's important to talk about whole grains, like non-industrialized, but for example, different kind of grains, wheat in that sense, because those whole grains, whole grains. They have high in fiber, so this already is super important as well for our body to digest.
Our digestive system.
To bring, and also they are very like slow releasing carbohydrates, so our body is actually using them for a long time. It also gives us a feeling of not getting hungry super fast again. So it also helps for like the gut health and long-lasting energy because it's so slow releasing, and can also regulate our blood and sugar regulation a lot.
Yeah, that's a great list, Valerie. What about timing then? And does when we eat affect how we absorb these different nutrients?
I mean, there's so much going on about timing or no timing, or we should do all these different kind of fasting. It's a little tricky question. It also depends a little bit like what is your body, like what does your body need? And if your body tells you, oh, I'm really hungry and I'm starving, maybe you should eat. And maybe as well, there's a reason. Like also always our body tells us what is actually best for us. So it's super important to listen to this. I do think that timing affects it as well, because also, as I said before, that for example in the morning we need some energy because we did not eat for the whole night. So it's important that we fuel our body with food that actually provides us energy so we can go on with the day. Whereas for example before going to bed, maybe we should not eat dense energyful food in that sense. So but me personally as well, like I would not say, okay, this is a way where you have to go. This is, there's like this fasting in between, intermittent fasting also everybody should do. No, but it's always important to listen to your body that says, okay, yes, maybe it's even good for me. I only eat twice a day, or I don't feel like eating in the morning, so maybe I have this later. So. Yeah.
It's not only about eating good quality and good nutrient food, it's about making it delicious. So tell us
Well,
about one of your favorite recipes.
So I would say one of my definite favorites is it's as well like a Mediterranean Sardinian dish, and that's fennel orange salad, where I actually like kind of roast the fennel in the pan, and then I put some walnuts and roasted walnuts with honey on it as fennel orange salad. A great combination. I never tried this before, but delicious. Together with some locally seasoned or locally sourced fish. So depends a little bit where you are, depends what you like. But simple as is, but as we were on the sea, so it was amazing to have as well one kind of fish because, providing us with loads of energy and vitamins and also, we did our Sardinian pasta ourselves on the boat. So I think this is a dish that is actually one of my favorite dish to also share with others. And it's very simple. It's super simple to prepare, and it actually gives you everything that your body needs.
That sounds delicious, yeah. Simple food swaps that people can make to improve their meals without overhauling their entire diet.
I mean, in a way, sometimes it can be very simple. It depends also. I think the American food industry is very different as well than the European one. And I think very important is always minimizing salt and sugar. Because salt and sugar is maybe you think it actually enhances its flavor, but an overload of sugar and salt is very bad for your body in different ways. And I think if you start leaving or minimizing, for example, salt in a dish, but maybe adding a few more herbs, it already is so much more flavorful, and you're adding something super beneficial for your body and also for your brain, like everything. And it also creates a new combination of taste and with so simple things. And also another thing in terms of sugar, what I learned as well from an Italian chef as well, for example, for caramelizing. I love to caramelize like onions and tomatoes in the beginning. It's amazing. But I stopped using sugar or honey, and I started using white vinegar. I was surprised this is working, but if you start, for example, caramelizing your onions with white vinegar, it comes out so sweet and still gives you a little taste of like something
I
very
think
sweet.
onion by itself, it's a caramelizing agent. Like I feel whatever you put onion when you like caramelize it a little bit with whatever, it becomes sweet, right?
Yeah, it definitely becomes sweet. Then, but you need to use something for it. Only with oil, it's not as sweet as if you start using white vinegar or honey or so. And
Well, it's inspiring to hear personal stories. So tell us, why are you doing what you're doing?
why am I doing what I'm doing? That is a very good question. I think that especially living in the world where processed food really dominates our supermarket, and as well it shapes kind of how we eat and what is available, what is affordable, and even what we think is healthy. And I've noticed that also in my own family, but also due to my own history, where I'm coming from, what I learned from my family, and also seeing the changes in different societies. So I also see this not only as a issue. Actually, I look at this as a real health crisis. So diseases like obesity, type 2 diabetes, and like mental health conditions as well, like stress, anxiety, depressions, all of this is actually really deeply connected to what we eat. We are disconnected from where our food comes from, and I think with our industrialization, we are disconnected from it more and more. And it is showing in our bodies and in our minds. One of these main factors was actually guiding me towards what actually is healthy, what is my body responding to, why am I feeling sick today, why am I feeling so low energized, and looking around in the health industry, health sector, working in different countries in that industry really shaped my awareness and consciousness towards being healthy and not being dependent of the health insurance system, and looking at this very diverse, or in that sense.
Yeah, I absolutely love and say amen to everything you've talked about. I think it's awesome, a wonderful journey. And I've loved chatting with you about this. So before we wrap up, would you share 3 small but powerful food changes listeners can start making today? 3.
So first of all, I think, yes, very important is start buying raw food, non-processed food. Start buying the vegetables and everything that you can prepare. And of course, I think as well, like something I always want to give to people, start supporting the locals, start buying from farmers, start maybe just asking yourself, where is my food coming from? Is it like somewhat in this industry? Where's my bread? Where's this coming from? Start questioning where your food is coming from, and maybe start supporting the locals that actually really work hard for giving you very healthy and sustainable products. Non-processed food, eating local. And the third point is start preparing your own food. I do tell you, this connects you so deeply with yourself and with what you're doing, and also the way how you start eating food. If you always go out for food, if you always buy already prepared food in the supermarket, you are losing track of what you're eating, you are losing track of what you actually put in your body, but also where it's coming from. And I think these 3 powerful changes I would give to everyone.
And for those who want to follow your work and get their hands more of your recipes, where can we find you?
So, I'm setting up right now my new website for the cookbook. It's called Valerie's Galley. And there I am sharing like some newsletter about benefits, eating healthy, but also if you want to pre-order my cookbook, for example, it will be published very soon. I'm still working on it. And also about this page, you can find me for maybe some upcoming sailing trips. Right now, there's nothing planned in, but happy to get any requests there. You can find me on social channels. Instagram. I will now just share my personal one. It's Valushka. So, and if you are interested in as well, still connecting to the Sailing to Wellness page. It's Sailing to Wellness. You can also find us on all the social channels.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. And thank you so much for having me.
It was such an enlightening conversation. I love how you broke down the science behind food and how simple changes to our diet can impact our energy and longevity.
Absolutely. One of my biggest takeaways is how food is more than just calories. It's information for our bodies. Making those small but intentional choices can have a long-lasting effect on our health. We want to thank each of you for listening to Notify and Beautify, where we show you the other side of beauty. If you'd like to learn more about us or read our blog, visit us at notify-beautify.com. I'm Linda Yates.
And I'm Nora. See you next time.